So how long has it been now?
I don't know, about 2 weeks, I guess?
2 weeks is a pretty long time to have not reviewed anything.
Well, I was going to get to it eventually.
You're not going to get to it later. Go review something.
Okay, fine. You want me to review something? I'll review something. Let's go. Man, I swear. That subconscious could be a real asshole sometimes. It just keeps, like, crawling on my shoulder telling me, you haven't put up a video in fucking ever. What the fuck are you doing? And there's been so many things on my mind that have just been like, I really want to talk about this, but it's just like, when it comes time, I'm just like, nah. But now I'm finally back, and I've decided that I really want to talk to you guys about the new Emancipator album, Dusk Till Dawn, because it is a genius ride. I have been loving this album lately. I even purchased a copy. I mean, it's going to take a while to get here probably, because it's not like it's easy to find this fucking CD. All I could find was like vinyl copies and digital copies, but I wanted myself a CD version, and I found one. And I bought it. Should be here pretty soon, but anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about this album because it is just the coolest fucking music ever. Okay, if you haven't heard this guy, all of his albums I think have been uploaded to YouTube in full. That was the first time that I had heard of this guy. One of my friends sent me a link to a Blackmail song, which is an electronic guy. I've listened to a few of his tracks online. Really like him, and then it linked me to this artist called Emancipator. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this is probably going to be something like a metal thing. But it turns out that this is just some really atmospheric, really beautiful. The landscape is huge in these songs. The instrumentation is crazy. It's imaginative, it's fun, it's big. I love this album. It makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck. It's a really emotionally heavy album. I am loving this thing, and I urge all of y'all to check this thing out. Definitely one of my favorite albums of the year, so I hope it gets here before the end of the year so I can go ahead and put it on my list. But loving this thing, man. The first track on this album, Minor Calls, just gives me so many feels. I mean, like, I get a refill every single time I listen to this song. I mean, there's a little bit of like some like Chinese instrumentation going on in this thing, along with some vocal loops. It's a really cool mix. A tiny bit of electronic music has been thrown in there in the background, but the instrumentation on this thing is the real star. There are no lyrics on this album, I'll just say right now. But the use of acoustic guitar and horns and violin and the melodies that they create together just makes some really emotional music. It's really beautiful, perfect for driving alone at night. Really relaxing, great lounge music. I mean, this thing just, it gives me so many feels. The emotion in this album is just so good. And it just gives me something that I don't really find a whole lot in music these days. While a few of these tracks seem to blend together for me in my mind, for some reason on this album I don't mind that as much, mostly because I really love the melodies that they're giving. It's not that they all sound the same in that really bad way. It's just that they all have the same type of instrumentation from track to track. And some people might find that tiring, some people might get bored of this album after the first 4 tracks. And I can totally understand that. You might listen to it, get a little bored, and maybe want to listen to something a little bit more fast-paced and rocking. And I totally understand that. But when you're in the mood for it, man, you know, you're just stuck at home on a Sunday, it's raining outside, you just want to fucking lay down and just stare at the fucking ceiling fan, this is the album to do it to, right here. My favorites are definitely Minor Calls, Valhalla, Outlaw, Dusk to Dawn, Afterglow, and Natural Calls. I absolutely love those tracks on this album, but all of them are great. There's honestly not much else I can say about this album. You just really have to listen to it for yourself. And I'll link a music video down there below to check out the single from this album, Minor Calls, which is the very first song I heard from this guy that made me fall in love with him and this album. And I'm definitely going to be checking out more Emancipator albums in the future, this one being his newest one that came out this year. So I definitely need to delve back into his catalog, but I'm really loving this guy. So thanks for watching. New review coming really soon, and I promise this time it's not going to be another 2-week hiatus, alright? Mr. Brody 1, 2, 3, 5. I'll see you guys later.